Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Exploring Worlds. Now here I am at a beautiful viewpoint in the Gibson Sunshine Coast area, and for this episode I'm going to delve into a magical and mythical creature found in myth, legend, and folklore, the dragon. Now, being a history buff and a film buff and art buff and whatnot, I always had an interest in dragons ever since I was a kid, especially with my interest in dinosaurs and that too. Especially when I was a kid, I always sort of gravitated to the dragon. I thought it was a cool creature, and so when you look at this beautiful landscape and scenery around me, ever since I was a kid, I had it captured my imagination of envisioning these grand creatures roaming the landscape per se. And there's quite a bit of art, but there's not a whole lot of and there's some things that are themed that way and whatever, but there's not a whole lot of real historical or heavy culture based in dragons around here like there are in some other parts of the world. But there's definitely some celebratory themed things and a lot of artwork, and definitely some effort put into the folkloric creature and story of the dragon. And so on this episode, I'm just going to delve into that a little bit. I'm going to get some good shots for you guys of what this place has to offer along those lines. So yeah, I hope you enjoy. Okay, so continuing on with Exploring Worlds, a little mini documentary about dragons, I thought it was fitting to find just a straight up movie, a straight up dragon movie to review. And there's not a whole lot of ones that I haven't reviewed yet anyway, but one that I have in my collection that I thought would be fun to pop in is Pete's Dragon, the remake from, I'm not sure, I can't remember exactly what year it is, but so Daniel has joined me here in the studio, and he's going to give a review on this as well. But I actually quite enjoyed this movie. For one, I thought that Elliot the dragon was a super cool dragon, really cute, looked exactly like a dog. I thought that was a really cool creative decision to have fur like a dog, and it's a perfect length. It's like an hour and 35 minutes. It gets quite sad, actually, at certain points. There's definitely some points that get pretty heavy and pretty sad. And, but it does all work out in the end to a relative degree anyway. There's still sort of a bittersweet kind of feeling there. The acting was all well done. This has got Bryce Dallas Howard in it, and she's now been in dinosaur movies as well as dragon movies, so that's pretty cool. And yeah, basically there's not a whole lot to say other than it's just a pretty good movie. I don't have a whole lot of complaints about it. Some moments of some of the acting was a little on the nose and a little cheesy at times, but overall it was definitely a really good movie. I think I'd actually give this one an A-. I actually think I'd give this one an A-. And for the cheese grating, it's got a bit of cheese. I think this is just like a straight up medium cheddar or something like that for the cheese grating. So yeah, that's my review for Pete's Dragon, and I'll pass the camera over to Daniel, and he'll give his review.
So hey, welcome back everybody. Just review on the dragon. Well, Pete's Dragon story. It was fun. It was a fun movie. I like Walt Disney movies because they always end up well and everything's always so happy ending. But yeah, no, it was a fun creator. They always have, but this one in particular, I like the companionship with the lost kid in the jungle in the woods and with the dragon behind them. I think that was pretty sweet. I'd be pretty brave, 10 years old kid, if I would have had a dragon behind me. So anyway, this is in general, I liked it, and I'd give it probably like a white cheddar, like something nice that melts pretty good. It went along with me pretty good. And yeah, and the category, well, yeah, I'd give it an A plus too. I really enjoyed it. Anyway, thank you very much for your time.
Right. Okay, so when we think of dragons, we think of fantasy, we think of magic. So I'm just going to do a very quick review of a film I've just checked out called The Flight of Dragons. This is an animated movie out of 1982. And I basically just want to say very quickly that I highly recommend checking out this movie if you're interested in dragons, if you're interested in fantasy, if you're interested in folklore and magic and anything like that. I highly recommend watching this movie. It's beautiful animation. It's a beautiful hand-drawn animation. A really, really cool story. And basically it's all about, it's a celebration, and it's all about imagination and you know, just magic within imagination, and the whole fantasy element to art. And it's a big celebration to that, and I really enjoyed it. I right away I will give it an A plus. There's no cheese in this. And you know, as far as complaints go, I really liked the first half, and the second half is all right. Third half is pretty good too. I mean, it's all great, but the first half is excellent, and then the rest is good. It's really, really good. Like, it's really good. But it meanders a little bit towards the end, but then it picks up at the end again too. The only thing I didn't like that much, though, is that the main character, the human character, you know, gets turned into a dragon to complete this journey. And I didn't like that as much. I thought he should have stayed as a human. There's plenty of other dragons. There's lots of dragons in this movie, so it's not like they were in need of more dragons. That was just sort of a way to make some things easier, it seemed, and I think it would have added more to the story if they had have kept him as a human and had him overcome the odds that way. But other than that, this is a huge celebration of just that kind of art form, that kind of fantasy art form, and I highly recommend checking it out, and I definitely give this an A+. Okay, so for the closing shot of Exploring Worlds Dragons, I just wanted to show you a few new items that I've picked up for my at-home dragon collection. So I got a few really cool things, hopefully really cool things to present with you here. Okay, so this is a new one, which I'm really stoked on. A Chinese dragon, a serpentine dragon, and this is actually, it's got a lot of detail on it actually. It's beautiful artwork. This is all made out of solid metal, solid steel, and you know, it's got a really nice scale pattern along it. It's posed perfectly, and there's, if you really spend some time looking at this, there's a lot of detail in it, such as, I like how if you turn it ever so slightly, if you can see the eyes are red. They got like red rocks in the eyes like that. And then all along the bottom here are all kinds of different coins, and they all have different symbols on them, which mean different things in Chinese culture. And my favorite one is actually, if you turn it around this way, this coin right here. I've been given these before. This is something to do with, I'm not like completely clear of the entire lore behind it, but this coin, if you're given this coin, you're supposed to hang on to it, and it's supposed to promote and bring money and riches and wealth into your household, to your family, to your circle, kind of a thing. And there's all kinds of other coins, and the details even, like, they've got kind of the illusion that there's whole stacks of them going all along here. I really like the stand that he's on. It's solid glass. Below there you got these metal little ends that you stick onto the ground, but all that below there with more symbols is all solid glass. If you turn it around, you can probably see a reflection in there. It's all solid glass. That's really cool. Really, really beautiful piece. I'm happy I've picked this one up. And then a few smaller ones here. This is another Chinese dragon, a little miniature one. This is a brass one. This one is actually hollow. It's very light. It's solid, but it's hollow in the middle. And yeah, it's not nearly as intricate as this one, but it's still a cool little decoration, a cool little charm to have in your collection. And then over here, this is an older one actually, but I thought I'd present with it. This is another serpentine dragon, and this is actually a pipe. It's never been smoked out of. I keep it as a collectible, but it's a pipe. And yeah, this one I actually picked up at an art stand in Mexico a few years ago when I was there, actually, and it's pretty cool. It's made out of wood, and yeah, it's got some pretty interesting detail to it. It's well done for a wooden piece. So yeah, those are my dragons, and more to come eventually. And yes, that is my presentation for my dragons. I hope you enjoyed that. And I just want to throw off a quick thing. So this isn't to do with dragons per se, but what I do have here is this is Godzilla 2020. Here's the box from it. It's from Godzilla vs. Kong. It's got the artwork on the back and the different collectibles that you can get. So technically, yeah, I'd imagine this is Godzilla 2020, and it comes with a radio tower. It's called Godzilla with radio tower. That comes with it as well. It can also fit in his hand or stand by him if you want. And this has nothing to do with dragons, but this is another piece I've picked up. And as you can see, it's a really nice, it's a fairly miniature figure compared to my other ones, but it's got a really nice design on it. It's got the battle damage here. If you peel this piece off, you've got battle damage. And yeah, so that is just a little clue, a little segue, if you will, into the next episode of Exploring Worlds, which will be Godzilla. Thank you very much, everybody. Still here? Okay, so one final thing before we completely close off, I just wanted to show with you is a real life living dragon. Here we have a bearded dragon, a translucent bearded dragon. These are one of the existing dragons in the world today, and I have a pet one. Her name's Gojira. Another little segue to the Godzilla thing. And yes, these creatures are native to the Australian outback, and in which people can actually find them living in the wild there. They're very nice pets, they're very calm, they're very chill, and they're very cool to look at. They have a really nice design to them. And this is what you call a bearded dragon, a living dragon of today. So I wanted to present that with you guys if you guys are still here.